Hey everyone, welcome to reading class. That we are on set 4, wave 4 today. So those of you who are teaching your younger siblings, great job doing that. Reviewing the letter T, 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 t. We learned to and go and the at family, right? And the letter TH, th. So today we have some pink words for you, some memorizing words, which we also can call movement words because we're going to, we got to do some movements with them. And if you watch, I think it was yesterday's video, we went over some of these words in our exercise video, right? So we tried them with movement, so we can do that today also. But our first word that we're doing is this word. Now, if you were to sound it out, you might go on with an E. But we know on doesn't have an E, right? That's on, but this has an E. So we know that sometimes when E is at the end, it makes the vowel say its name O. So maybe we'll try that. Own. And own is a word. Own is a word like I own a dog, I own a car, that type of thing. But this is not own. This is a number. And it is the number 1. Now listen to the sounds. W. What says W? W, right? W, U, N. So if I were to spell 1 using the sounds that I know, I probably would have spelled it W-U-N. But whoever came up with how we're gonna spell 1, and it's kind of a history of words. We've kind of stolen from different languages, and that's why we have our English words. So this is probably from another language, right? And we could study up on that and Google that more, what language this comes from and why we use this as the number 1. But this is number 1, and we just have to memorize it. Let's spell it together. O-N-E spells 1. 1. I have 1 cat. That's not true. I have a lot. I have 1 shoe. No, I have more than 1 shoe. But I do have 1 whisk. I only have 1 whisk. So 1, just 1. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think of one thing that you could do. One thing. Could you do 1 squat for me? 1 squat. Good. Could you do 1 jump? Good. Okay, spell 1 for me. O-N-E. Okay, let's do 1 clap. Good. Let's do 1 touch your toes. Okay, spell 1 for me. O-N-E. 1. Okay, so remember that whenever you see those 3 letters together, they are telling you there's just 1. Okay, then you can practice. Practice doing 1 of a whole bunch of different things. Which leads us to our next number, what number comes after 1? 2. And we've already talked about the 2s, right? We know that T-O is like I'm going to the beach. T-O-O means also I want 1 too. But this is the number 2. And they have the T-O, but they just split them apart and stuck a W in there. Yep, that's what they did. They split these 2 letters apart and stuck the W in between. Now you would think it would say twa or two, but it doesn't. It says 2. 2. We need 2. T-W-O, 2. Okay, so now let's do this again. Can you do 2 squats? Good job. T-W-O, 2. Can you do 2 jumps? T-W-O, 2. Good. Can you do 2 touch your toes? T-W-O, 2. Good. Can you do 2 claps? T-W-O, 2. Okay, now I'm going to play a little game with you. Are you ready? I'm going to hold up 1 or 2, and you are going to clap that many times. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2. Good job. Ready? 1, 2. Good. And 1. And 2. And 1. And 1. And 2. You see how you can play little games like that? Now you could do that same, have someone hold it up for you while you do that same thing with squats or with jumps or with anything like that, so you can play games with your words, right? So what I'm learning a lot right now as I've been studying is that we need to move in order to learn things that are difficult for us. You guys are able to sound out simple words like k, a, t. But when it comes to a memorizing word like 1 and 2 that doesn't make any sense, then you've got to link it to something, right? And movement helps you link it. So if you come across a word and you're reading today on Epic or in your chapter books or whatever you're reading, I want you to write it down and think of a movement that you could do that will help you remember that word, okay? All right, so have a great day reading. Bye.